All right, I'm live. I was in the middle of cooking. I shouldn't even have did one. But I've eaten now and everything's cool. I just want to show you page two. Almost done. Like really close. Like very few details left. Very few details left. Look at that, dude. Almost done. And here's some I'm doing like the comic book's gonna have a little biography of the characters when you open it up. So down the middle, and then half of it is going to be this is hydro, and it's underwater. And I'm going to have like coral reefs and everything around them on this side. Pretty awesome, right? And he's going to have like what he's going to be like flying through the water basically on this side, so it's going to be all you know like like water effects and whatever like bubble basically the water's in turmoil around him as he shoots through the water at incredible speeds. But there's that. And I'm going to have one of the commander like standing like Captain America almost back to back with his armor. And then I haven't decided with what to do for the flying armor yet, but they're each going to have like a little biography. There's going to be like a prologue or whatever, or I got like there's going to be like an intro that kind of tells what the story's about, and then it's going to be a few pages, and then it'll be like 3 pages of character biography for the main characters. You know what I mean? And then it'll go into the comic book. So it's looking pretty good, people, isn't it? I got page, I got the cover, which I've tweaked here and there a little bit, but it's generally the same. I got the cover. I got, in case you haven't seen this stuff in your new page one. So cover. They are all three of them. They're like the Trinity, and then page two, which is coming out really nice. Folio's looking pretty kick butt right now, don't you think? I mean, this is a lot of work right here. I don't want to put my greasy little paws on it. I shouldn't even be handling it. I didn't wash my hands. I'd rather get my shirt dirty. I'd rather get my shirt greasy and dirty. I just had eggs and sausage and sandwich basically, so my hands are a little greasy. I shouldn't even be touching this stuff. But yeah, there it is, man. Would you look at that? Would you look at that action? Look at him fly. Look at him flying towards the screen right there with his shield out. Exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. Look at the aquatic armor. Look at that. Isn't that tight? Isn't that tight? Tight. Yeah. Look at that. Look at this guy, Metal Face or whatever he is. I haven't come up with it. I might try to think of some excuse like for him to get away, even though it looks like he died, just because he's such a cool looking little character. He's got a vest on. He's got like a armored vest that didn't really help him much. It's like you have to understand it's the Great Tribulation. It's the Great Tribulation. There's not a lot of money, if there's money at all. Like I kept saying, like, oh, they raid drug dealers and crime lords and take all their money, but mainly they destroy all their drugs. some of which is adrenochrome, because the Nephilim feed on humans. A lot of them, they eat humans and stuff like that. And but mainly they destroy all their drugs, and then they take any contraband, or any, not contraband. I mean, the police would call it contraband, but they take basically they have to keep their militias arms that work with them in tandem. So they take any guns and ammo they find by right of conquest, because a lot of the gun smithies have gone underground, and so like but they can't always. There's still traditional firearms around and stuff like that, and traditional ammo from people that have stockpiled it before the tribulation, and so when they get in battles with the military and the world government military and crime lords, they take any guns and ammo and knives and anything, explosives, anything they can find, gunpowder, and they store it and they keep it on hand for the militias that are trying to protect what's left of humanity. That's how that goes. But yeah, these guys, here they are, the heroes of the free world, the archangels. And I fixed this too. I had this picture that I drew for Jimmy Reyes. It's pretty tight. I fixed her eye. Her eye was a little too big. I fixed her mouth. But I just wanted to come on and show that I am getting very close, very close. I don't have any help. I don't have. It's not like so and so from so and so comics is like, oh hey, How about I'm gonna start asking some of these guys, hey, will you do a cover for me? You know what I mean? I'm gonna start asking people, hey, you do a cover for me? If I have to pay people, I will. Uh, as far as because maybe I should have some alternate covers by some of these other guys. So when I start going on Jimmy Reyes, I'm gonna start asking around these other artists, like, hey, will you do an alternate cover for me? And see what they say, and I'll send them some. If they say yes, I'll send them some reference material, because as you can see, I'm up against teams of people. I'm all by myself, and I'm up against whole teams of artists, and ain't nobody going, hey, hey, you need some help? Not one person. They're all helping each other, but they won't help me, and I haven't asked either. So I'm going to start publicly asking to see what happens. Start asking for some help from some of these other artists to see if I can get some help. Because if I have a variant cover from somebody who's already a known artist, it will help attract traffic to my Indiegogo project. So before I release it, before I'm dead set, I'm going to get at least 2 more pieces of work done. Basically, I'm probably going to get. I should do their biographies, and those are basically pinup art. I could probably do a couple of those a day. Like I'll probably finish this one today, and then at least start another one, and then I'll have 6 pieces of art, which should be enough for an Indiegogo. And then I'll create. I guess I'll create tiers for color, because as of now it's black and white. But if I can find a decent colorist that doesn't mind coloring my artwork, because I don't know how easy it is to color my artwork. I've colored a few pieces here and there, but I've always basically stuck to penciling in black and white, because it's like I wanted to master that before I even tried to move on to anything else, especially inking. I'm trying to inking is so hard, man. It's like my penciling is very forgiving, and when it's loose it looks okay, but you can't have, like, you can't, like, you can even scribble a little bit, here and there, just be like, oh, you know what I mean? But when it comes to inking, you can't just be throwing random lines down like that and scribbles. It'll just look like crap. So that's what has really taken me. I pretty much have most my penciling down pretty well. If I want to make them tight, I can, but I struggle with having the patience to make them tight, which would help my inking. Like, you know what I mean? They go hand in hand. Like, but lately I've been like, okay, this area is too loose. I'm not gonna chance ruining this piece with white out all over it. So I'll go on another scrap piece of scrap paper. And I'm talking about besides your thumbnails. Like your thumbnails are usually very loose. So when you come to an area in your thumbnail where you think you're going to have trouble because your thumbnail's not detailed, then go on a separate piece of paper. If it's one panel or if it's a hand or if it's whatever it is, just even if it's not even a whole panel, if it's just one part of the, it's usually there'll be things that you will struggle with and you'll already know. I struggle with flat surfaces, like a wall in the background. Uh, you know what I mean? Like a flat wall, basically like interior around. Like I don't have too much trouble with environment like outdoors. It's when you get indoors and there's like a flat wall behind them. I'm like, how do I basically communicate like a wall, just a regular plain wall, and like just stuff like that, and like multiple light sources bouncing around, like you know, but but eventually, if I try hard enough, I usually I usually can get the point across. But sometimes that takes me destroying a piece of artwork and then going, okay, I destroyed this, but I figured this problem out. Now I got to redo the whole page because, I mean, I could scan it. I mean, the way things are nowadays, I could scan it and I could fix it on computer, but it's like, um, I'm trying to have original artwork that I can sell later if this takes off, which it very well could take off. It's a cool storyline and the artwork's pretty good. And I'm probably going to get better as I go. So I'm trying to have the original artwork around for later so I can auction it off or sell it and make a few extra dollars for myself for all the work because nobody's paying me to do this. But what my new method now is like I will not like I will not like I worked a lot like where is it, man? Oh, I worked a lot of this out, like the water, everything. I worked it out. First, I destroyed this page. I had it almost done. I had him completely inked, and then I went and then I went and started this panel, destroyed it, just destroyed it. And I don't mean in a good way. Like I mean I ruined it. So I had to redo this entire page, and I'm like, I'm done. Yeah, I learned my lesson, but then I set myself back, and then I had to get up the next day. You had no idea. I got out of bed. I looked at the unfinished page with white out all over it, and I was just like, oh, I got to start all over again. And I had to retrace him, re-ink him out after he was already done. But then I went on a separate pad of paper I could show you, and I worked on the water until I got the water down. The ocean was really challenging. But yeah, there it is. Page 2. Look at that. So he comes, comes up with water inside like the waves, the splash that he like splat. He breaks the surface at such speed that the water comes up with him like a big water spout, and he's disguised inside the water spout. So when the guy looks around, all he sees is water. He's like, huh? And then pop, 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 three shots from behind of water. He gets shot by water, not bullets. The aquatic suit, the aquatic suit, the aquatic suit shoots water out of his wrists. Basically, it's pretty tight, man. There's nothing else like this out there. You don't this There is no other comic book on the market like this, man. This comic is so original. If I can just get it out there and get the backers and get an issue done of this, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be psyched. And I'm hoping you all are going to help me. I should have 1,000 subs by now. I think my channel's being I think I'm on some kind of algorithm. I'm pretty sure I think the devil does not want me to complete this project because it relates to Christianity and being upright, being doing the right things, humanity, coming to grips with the truth of Jesus. You know what I mean? The truth of the world that we live in, that we've been lied. Like basically, the main characters find out that the entire reality that we've been taught is most likely false. It's all a lie. Everything, your science, almost everything. You know what I mean? The whole, like, basically the governments are all in cahoots, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and like basically there's non-humans running everything. And you know what I mean? And so like, and this, it's almost like a social commentary that could wake a lot this comic book could wake a lot of people up. Later, they might not realize it when they're reading it when they're young, but as they get older, they might be like, damn, that comic book had a lot of truth in it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the devil is against me. The devil is against me and does not want me to get this comic book out. There's nobody helping me. There's nobody shouting out my channel. You can go to other channels where they're doing just basically, and I have nothing against it, but they're doing run of the mill comics on vampires and horror and this and that. Nothing Christian though. And they have over 1,000 subs, and they have professionals helping them out, bringing them on their channel. Nobody will invite me on their channel. I tell, it's like, I'm going to start, but at the same time, I don't actually have an Indiegogo. That's going to be the real test. And I'm a couple weeks behind, but I only got a couple more pieces of artwork in their pinup art. It's not all this sequential art. So and I'm getting faster and faster. So I'm thinking definitely next week I will have at least 5 pages, possibly 6, to put up for an Indiegogo. And once I have an Indiegogo, I'm going to start bothering then it's going to be worth it for me to do super chats, because I'm going to be like, hey, $20 or whatever, $50 super chat, hey, will you please, hey Ethan, and I criticize Ethan, but I also like, it's like, okay, like, I want to believe that people like Ethan are legit. I just don't know, because we're finding out about fake news, fake media, Pizzagate, and all, and like basically we're finding out that, almost like my comic book, that we're being lied to about everything, and everything's practically staged. And so, you know what I mean? I'm not against anybody. I'm trying to find real people that can help me, not do the work for me, just help shout me out, and send people my way to you know what I mean? But I can't fault them right now. Like in other words, I can't fault them for not shouting me out, because I've never done an Indiegogo, and I don't even have one up yet. So I want to get the work done, get up the Indiegogo, and then I'll start approaching these people like, hey, I have an Indiegogo. Can you go take a look at it on, during one of your shows? These guys that are getting thousands of views. That'll be the true test, because at that point there'll be no reason for them to. There really be no reason for them to not. The art. I mean, unless unless you and all your friends can draw like this. The artwork's pretty kick butt. It's not the best, but I'm getting better. I mean, look at this panel down here. I love this panel, man. I can't stop looking at it. It's so cool. He's like landing. You know what I mean? They're like both on the boat now. they're basically I'm getting my characters to the destination, which is through these doors. And that's where the real act, that's where all the real action starts is once they get through these doors. But uh like I said, I'm just critical because I'm critical of people, of their behavior, because I'm trying to find, I'm trying to hold people accountable, and in a sense, and make sure that, how do you explain it? Like, I'm trying to, like, I criticize people only because I basically love my country, and I love people, and I want people to do the right thing, and if I'm misguided, I want somebody to criticize me and be like, hey, Stuart, what you were doing the other night on your show was kind of, retarded or whatever, dumb, stupid, and if you keep doing that, you're gonna lose, you know what I mean? If you keep doing stuff, it's not, you're going to be a bad example. I want people to be good examples. That's all. And I want to make sure that people are for real, because there's a lot of there's a lot of shills in COINTELPRO. Like that's how the comic industry got destroyed. It was infiltrated. And so I'm trying to keep comicsgate from also getting infiltrated, because comicsgate could be a vehicle for me and other artists like me who to get crowdfunded and get projects out there, so we can do what we love for a living, which is draw. And that's all there is to it. I'm not against anybody. This, I guess this is my apology to any of the bigger channels that I've critiqued. It's call it paranoia, call it what you want. It's more like PTSD. I've been screwed over so much. I've had my ideas, my ideas for comic books stolen, or just or someone came upon this idea before I was able to get it out, and they put it out. And that's frustrating when you don't have the money, you don't have the time, you don't have the support, and you have these good ideas. And then you go out and you talk about them, and then next thing you know, word gets around and somebody else. And thank you. Yes, I'm trying to get Fender Fire. You're one of my new subs, I believe. I just want to keep Comicsgate from also getting infiltrated by all the same old garbage. And so that's all. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be mean or single anybody out. I mean, Ethan Van Sciver, I say his name perpetually because I guess he's the biggest name in Comicsgate right now. And all the other Comicsgate artists, that are all, uh, like like obviously, like, I'm sub to their channels. I obviously support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're great artists, and they have great personalities. You know what I mean? It's just like, I have PTSD from, I have post traumatic stress disorder from all the backstabbing and effery. I don't want to say the real word, but effery that goes on. And so I get I just come on here. This is like a diary. I just come on here and I just get it all out. Like, how come this person's doing this? How come they're not doing that? Why I thought we were trying to get away from all these empowered female characters in comic books, you know, telling men what to do, outsmarting the men, more moral than men all the time. But then I go into the Comicsgate, and it's like it's all, and a lot of the characters are empowered women again. A lot of the main character, like, but I'm seeing, and the artwork's fantastic. It's like, man, you got such fantastic artwork, but then you're doing basically the same thing mainstream comics was doing. You're showing empowered women fighting crime, and it's like, with and I have nothing against that. It's just like I've had it crammed down my throat. Like, I basically, around the late 80s and early 90s, I couldn't watch TV anymore because I started to notice that the women were all portrayed as flawless. Not flawless. They do make women look like bimbos a lot, but more often than not, the women are flawless and the men are all nothing but flawed and can barely ever do the right thing, and they're sexually driven and materialistic, and they treat their friends like the main character. What's up, buddy? What's up? Is there somebody out there coming in? Should I get the hand cannon? Should I get the hand cannon, buddy? Is there someone breaking in? Pop, 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 pop. My father gave me a present today. I'll be right back. So, I'm glad he didn't jump up on my artwork. Go on. You had enough. So this is like an old. Yeah. Even my dog agrees. So this is an old out the window squirrel killer Crossman. Probably it doesn't say Crossman on it, but it was probably licensed to Sears and Roebuck or something, somebody like that. So it's like a Bronson, get away. You already did. You ate. He just literally ate a piece of my breakfast. Go lay down. Go lay down. He just literally snatched a piece. I just said no, and he didn't care. He snatched a piece of my breakfast sandwich anyway. But this is an old Crossman, pump pellet gun, and my father had an extra one of these rifle stocks laying around. So it turns your little pistol into like a little your little pellet gun pistol turns it into a little pellet rifle. How about that? Yeah. I was like, thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. That's the type of present that a father gives their kid right there. A little rifle stock for his pellet pistol. But anyway, I thought you guys might like to see that. Look at Hydro. Look at that. He's not going to be smiling. He's going to be holding his breath like that. I just have him smiling right now, but that wasn't what I imagined in my head after I got done drawing it. I was like, wait a second. In my head, I pictured him holding his breath. So I'm gonna pick. I have to draw that, but and I might mess with this hand a little bit, but generally, yeah, that's the pose I'm going for. Split it right in half. So there's Hydro swimming underwater, half him and half power suit. Like basically, I got to draw a line right down the middle, and split this page in half. Yes, these little pellet guns right here. I'm telling you right now, this is the stuff, man. This is the like uh if you wanna, if you got a chipmunk problem or a squirrel problem and you don't want anybody to know what you're doing because people get paranoid and crazy nowadays, and if you shoot a 22 out your back door, people are going to call the police, or the microphones that they have installed in your city are going to pick it up, and the police are going to come snooping around. So what you need to get yourself is a pellet gun. Now I kind of wanted a 22, the point 22, but this is a 177 anyway, and it's good enough for a chipmunk or a squirrel. And hey, if we get into like if it ever becomes like the Hunger Games and I have to go hunting up in the woods, I very well can't bring my shotgun with me. You know what I mean? But if I want to pling a squirrel, if I literally have to eat squirrel for dinner, which I hope it doesn't come down to that, because I don't literally like eating. The only real rodent that I would ever eat is a rabbit, and rabbits are delicious, by the way. I'm betting you never ate a rabbit. I've eaten rabbit. rabbit is delicious. But yeah, this is the weapon to do it. You know what I mean? If you ever have to eat squirrel, this is the weapon for it. You know, this will kill a squirrel no problem. But yeah, I was very happy to get that. So uh I'm gonna have an Indiegogo campaign ready very soon. And when it is ready, I'm gonna be going on a lot of these bigger channels with these big name artists, and I'm gonna be asking them for shout outs and see if they'll cover if they'll and I'm gonna be asking them, hey, can I get an all and if I start making money, I don't care if I have to borrow money. I'm gonna start approaching some of these guys and being like, hey, no doubt, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you see it in the comments, a little squirrel with a little puff of smoke. Yeah, exactly. Smoke. But uh I'm gonna start asking some of these accomplished artists, like, hey, I'll pay you if you'll do an alternative cover. I mean, some of these guys just crap good artwork. They take a crap and incredible artwork pops out. So I don't even care if they just do their worst. You know what I mean? Their worst artwork ever is probably better than my best artwork. A lot of them. So you know, I'll just be like, hey, I don't even care if you just you know what I mean, wing it and you know what I mean. Trust just the fact that you're doing it will be fantastic. So basically, hopefully soon here we're gonna find out if I'm a regular guy. I'm not in the Masons. I'm not a Freemason. I'm not rich. I'm working poor. I have no job right now. This is the first time in my life I've had no job. You know what I mean? I'm working poor. Uh, I've spent most of my life trying to get the truth out there and be a truther, especially since 9/11. I never even had, I basically, I've never done anything like this before. So we're about to find out if just a regular Joe with a little bit of talent can walk into can go can bring some decent artwork and a decent idea into the into the comic world and get support, or if we're gonna find out. I've been This is almost like a test for me to find out. I'm kind of glad that comicsgate came along, because before my only avenues were to go to like Marvel and DC, and I already knew that they were already infiltrated by SJWs, and that the industry was basically dying, and that they're very exclusive now, and I would have to draw all their characters, and it's like, I'm sorry, but I get bored. Basically, my what the reason I even started making my comic book was because of everything that I hated about a lot of mainstream comics. I'm about to find out the answer to my question to my questions in life is the comic book industry rigged, or can you just walk in, with a good idea, good artwork, and gain and garner support and help from a lot of the other people in the industry. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out real soon. So um, I guess that's it. Unless anybody has anything to ask or say, I guess put it in the comments and let me know how you feel. But until then, this is Kingdom Comics. Over and out.